Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap.
Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap.
Let's go. Zen
Trap.
Zen
Trap.
Zen
Trap.
Zen
Trap.
Protect
Yo, peace.
your energy.
So, this is what you say when you first come in, when you first see me. when we on the phone, first thing you say.
You're.
Look at All right.
That's a good one. All right,
Okay.
cool. All right. Dang.
Can we just finish off mine?
Yeah, that's fine.
All
That's
right.
cool.
This is what you say when and it's probably one or two ways you could say this.
Okay.
But again, we on the phone and you kind of trying to ask me like, plans. You trying to ask me about say just
What's the move?
no. You asking me more so maybe my agenda, if I have plans.
Oh, what you got going today?
It's close. That's very on point. That's very just change that up a
What
little
you got
bit.
going on today?
Change slang it a little bit.
What you on?
Turn around.
It's a lot.
Probably close it, but
Yeah, probably. What you on today?
come on, you trying to talk all proper today for some reason. Yeah.
What you on today?
All right, now I'm gonna try and go a little, try and get it going. Turn towards the camera.
All right, cool.
All right. This is what you say if me and you have a spirited debate about something. Maybe something we both maybe
Okay.
agree or disagree on. This is what you say at the very end.
You good?
Pretty much change it around a little bit, just a little bit.
You all right?
Stick to the first one, kind of like it's literally you kind of. It's more so it's between me and you, so
AP, you good?
it's between me and you.
We good?
Turn it to you. Jesus Christ.
Are we good? All right, cool. All right, I want you to leave mine like straight up and down, but I think honestly it's kind of big, so they'll be able to see.
That's what
All
she
right.
said.
This is what you say when it's a bunch of people around and they complaining about. Let's say it's hot outside. They complain about it being hot.
That'd be downers.
This is what you say when somebody be like, "It's hot." Yeah, it's hot out here too. Yeah, it's hot.
You know it's hot too.
It's hot too. All right. Cool. All right. So this is something you say like, we both at the house.
Okay.
We both ain't got no girlfriends here.
She's trying to get
And we hungry.
Girlfriends here, we hungry. Trying to get some wings?
What's the next option? Dang.
Oh, I didn't know. You gotta,
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Trying to get some wings.
That's what you say though. You put your word in there. Pluckers?
Pluckers. That's the response.
Okay.
All right.
You put a response in there.
Yeah, that's the response for sure. All right, cool. Dang, this is a good one. This is something a bunch of people say, but you said definitely when we talking about like shooting at a girl, like, and you thinking about not doing it. You like
thinking about not doing it.
Yeah,
Just
like
shoot.
I see a girl, I'm thinking about not shooting, and what you gonna say in response? Like,
Why not?
give you a little more philosophical. A lot of people say this.
What if you don't see her again?
You just said this like the other day. Why would I shoot at a girl? What's the point?
What's the point?
Why do I need to shoot?
Because you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Like, come on. Like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? What do you mean?
For sure. You miss 100% of the shots you don't
How
take.
you gonna know if you gonna make it? You're not even shooting.
Welcome back to the Zen Trap. This is the Z2P Zen Trap Perspective. I'm one of the two hosts, Yogi LG.
Zen P.
The mission here at the Zen Trap Podcast is to inspire and empower listeners to continuously seek internal peace, to maximize their personal potential. If you have not already done so, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We need that. We love that. We appreciate your support. Like this video. Send it to somebody you love. All of that. P, we got a ZTP today on the video. Tell them what we got, man.
All right, we doing a TED Talk review. You know we love some TED Talks.
For sure.
Had to do some searching for this month's topic because this month's topic is
community and connection.
Community, connection, nurturing
Friendship,
connection, friendship, how to nurture connection, build community, intentional community, all those things, how to make friends. But we're sticking with community today. So the name of this TED Talk is Creating a Connected Community by Dorice Ramsey. Now, Dorice Ramsey is a teacher, and I don't know if she's retired or not, but she's a teacher in Iowa and is from a military background. I'm kind of going into the video, but why don't you start us off and tell us what this video is about?
I think ultimately this video is kind of about like how you can create a community like over and over again. Like she moved a lot because she was a military spouse. So she's like 8 different times I moved in the last 20 years. I had to like rebuild this community. So kind of the things you need to be aware of and the things you need to do in order to build a community. So that's what I would say it was about.
Completely agree. Definitely took a turn to me. I feel like another major tone of this video is all about implicit biases.
It was.
I
didn't expect that either.
Very quick turn, implicit biases. So why don't we just start off? What's your favorite section?
All right, cool. So I got a couple bars here. I think ultimately she dropped a little bit, but she could have dropped some more stuff. I feel like she held back a little bit trying to be PC. So she was very PC. She talked about a lot, again, about some of the biases and stuff like that. I think the biggest one for me is to seek knowledge. So she talks about one of the things you can do to kind of grow your community or build your community is to seek knowledge about that community. Be curious. Get your own understanding of what's happening, right? So when she talked about those biases, we have biases against like people who are left-handed, right? Think about how would you go about a day if you were left-handed? Like thinking about those, but seeking knowledge to understand that. Going to museums and understanding about friends or community that has cultural differences than you. Like you can go and indulge in that. So just that really spoke to me in the sense that like a lot of times I may be looking for community, but I'm not really looking to understand that other side or seeking knowledge about what they go through and what they experience. So I think that's one of the really good things or tips that I saw.
Left-handed want nothing but code word for minority in this video.
Exactly.
That's all it was. She tricked everybody in this trying to talk about left-handed and implicit bias. She talking about minorities and communities.
Absolutely.
And she is in Ohio, it seems like. Cedar Rapids. Cedar Springs, is that what it is? Cedar Rapids?
Oh, Cedar Rapids. Yeah,
Cedar Rapids. I think that's in Ohio, so I can imagine what the demographics look like out there.
Yeah, I think that's where like the biggest roller coaster is.
I have no idea. I have no desire whatsoever to go to Ohio. Maybe it'll happen one day. But if I go back to kind of talking about the video a little bit, it started off pretty strong where she's saying like this community that she's from is ranked like 3rd happiest in the city, or well, not the city, I think like the country.
Oh yeah, I'm saying the city is ranked like 3rd happiest.
Yeah,
in the country.
3rd happiest in America or whatever. Community is great, and yet at times or still her being raised there, she's felt fully connected with people and invisible at the same time, being a black girl in this city. And she really almost tricks people. What would have tripped me out? So she starts off by trying to sing a song from her childhood and tries to get people to join in.
What's the song?
Daniel Boone.
Daniel Boone, that's it.
And it's a part of the song that is
it's derogatory.
It's derogatory.
In the least way, basically it says like a bear came to get him, or somebody came to get him, and he ran up the tree like a nigga.
So, if you know the theme song for Daniel Boone, I just want you to hum it along as I attempt to put all of my energy into this song. So here we go. Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man. But the bear was bigger, so he ran like a nigger up the tree. Did I hear that correctly?
Chasing, no, not a nigger.
Nigger.
Not nigga, nigger. Yo, my whole thought process was if somebody joined in and sang that nigger part in that song,
because she asked people to like join in and sing with us.
You know the song. I can't sing that good. He chased that nigger.
I think it was. I mean, I think that was like her explaining like her first experience of like, oh dang, that is wrong. I should not be. This should not be said. Like my teacher should stop this. Nobody stopped it.
Kids on the bus singing it together. She's a teacher, and the kids on the bus are singing this towards the Daniel Boone Museum or whatever it is.
I think was she a teacher? I thought she was in the 5th grade when this was happening.
No. She's a teacher.
Oh, she was the
and the
teacher.
interns or whatever, and all the other like
okay.
teacher assistants are with the kids, and they doing songs as you know, like the wheels on the bus, and they going through all these different songs. And we're going to see Daniel Boone, so we're gonna sing the Daniel Boone song now. I was like, God dang.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I thought this was a very interesting video. I thought we would learn a little bit more about how to build community, but she throws all of that stuff at the end. So
yeah, absolutely.
Really cool.
So let's get into some of the other things. Like
I can hit my favorite bar too.
Yeah, for sure.
My favorite bar was close to yours about seeking knowledge. I'm all about that. Seek the help you need. Change does not happen when we are comfortable.
We know that
biggest bar.
Yeah,
Change
and we know that
does not happen when we're comfortable. When we don't like seek discomfort, we choose to kind of take the path of least resistance. So you're not growing when you're not changing. Same thing as butterflies from caterpillars. You need some kind of catalyst for change, and that catalyst usually is not comfortable. Yeah, so I thought that was a great bar.
I would say this is I thought it was a good bar around just connection and trying to make people feel comfortable. When you lay out a welcome mat, people have a sense of belonging. Yeah. And so I thought that was, and that spoke to me in a sense of like when I think about people come into my house, like when they come into my home, I want them to immediately feel welcomed, right? And so they have that sense of safety and that sense of belonging. They start to feel a community here. So, and the same thing when I come into somebody's space and they make me feel welcome, I do have that sense of like they want me to be here and I feel safe being here. So I think that was a metaphor for a lot of different things, not just a literal welcome mat, but making someone feel welcome.
Seems like a very Southern thing to me too. Southern communities of being open, being welcoming, and
but I think the Southern, I think if I'm being honest, I think our community from the South came from like slavery in the sense of like we needed each other.
Yeah, we need a sense of community just to survive.
Just to survive because we were transplanted from our home nation. Like it's not even my shit. Like why am I here? Right? So you needed people whether you wanted to or not, you needed help.
That's always back to the head nod. You good? Yeah, I'm good.
Hey,
you good?
Hey, cool. You good. That is creating community for sure.
I love to talk about implicit bias at work. I remember a Caucasian man leadership said he took a course on implicit bias and he felt like it changed his life. This man gave one of the greatest kind of speeches I've heard about implicit bias. It was so good how he said he went into this training, and when people hear the word, not diversity, but when they hear the word, not even racist, what's a word? And not even prejudice, or it's another word where you grow up in discrimination and stuff like that, and it's not even that. It's a word, and you are nailing these words. You nailing these words. When you grow up privileged. He did not like hearing the word privileged. Okay. And he felt like everybody else in the training too. When they hear the word that you grow up privileged, especially he said for him, because he's like, I didn't grow up with money. You know, I may be a white man, but I grew up in this trailer park. My mom didn't, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And people are trying to tell me I'm privileged. Like, I'm not privileged. Yeah. After he got through the implicit bias training, he learned what those privileges are just from being a white man. Exactly. So him going from kind of in the training, not really wanting to pay attention and upset, to getting into the weeds of it and learning really what those implicit biases are, which I wish I had a great definition for implicit bias, but it's really just noticing those things that you aren't aware of, which is tough for anyone.
It's tough.
I don't know what people of other races necessarily go through. I can speculate, but the best thing you can do is ask questions, like seek that knowledge.
I will say I'm just in my work right now. I tell you all the time, I meet a lot of people, and I'm in manufacturing facilities, so a lot of these people didn't go to college. Some
Love
of them
it.
didn't finish
Those are
high
the
school.
best people for me,
They've
too.
been at the same job for 40 years. I started working here when I was 18. I ain't left. I'm 65. Like, that's just kind of how some of these cultures are. And I find that, like, I have a lot of privilege. When I even talk about, like, oh, yeah, when I went to this country, and they like, what? Oh, you been there? I'm like, you have it?
Oh, I reckon.
You know what I'm saying?
Recognize
So
the privilege.
You recognize a lot of your privilege. And I think one big part of that is when you do recognize that privilege or you do recognize your biases, you can now adjust and you make people feel more comfortable. And you also kind of feel included in their life and like what they going to. You kind of put yourself on their level where you like, dang, okay, if I had kind of worked in this place and lived in this city for 40 years.
All my life.
And I ain't really travel or do certain type of things, how would I feel? How would I view it? So I think that's also what she's trying to say is like, put yourself in that person's place and try to see the world from their perspective.
Empathy.
Empathy.
I think a
for sure.
big thing of what you just said, traveling allows you to do those things, to see and do those things. I know you've said multiple times you've had an experience like this, and I have as well. We both work in manufacturing. I've gone to a city for an internship in Pennsylvania where there aren't a lot of black people. I go to the local gym. I tell them I'm interning at the big company that's in the city. How you get that job?
Yeah.
How you get in there?
Quick.
'Cause
I've been trying to get in there.
Yeah, they only hire like family and stuff in there. Like you, look, I went to a career fair.
It's so hard to explain.
I applied. I interviewed, and they.
How you get
chose
on
me.
first shift? I don't work any other shift. I don't know.
Or when you are young and you're a team leader, or you got some
Yeah.
salary position. Well, you the what? Oh, you the big boss. No, not really.
I am 23. I don't know shit.
It's crazy. I remember somebody calling me foreman. Crazy stories. Traveling and meeting different people.
Yeah.
And it is a thing of, you have to seek it though. You have to be open to it and receptive to it. Because
Absolutely.
you can travel still and still not
Even
get
see
these
the rest
moments.
of the-
You cannot
yeah.
see it. You could
Yeah.
just have tunnel vision. Like, I'm here to do a job. So I think that's what was big with her, because she said she's moved like 8 times in the past 20 years or
Yeah,
something
20,
like that.
yeah.
So she's very used to moving.
yeah.
And I think the military, people that have military babies or military families are just used to and probably have traditions. Like they said, we welcome people when they come in, we throw them a party when they leave. So I think that carries on. Once you do it for one family, they kind of go to the next and like, it was just good. I was trying to think of something else towards the end that she really said. Oh, she said something very, I would even say Amanda Seals-esque of, hey, people will come to me and try and get the knowledge from me. I can't speak for the whole race. There's a museum down the street.
Yeah, exactly.
You can go in. She really explained what seeking knowledge looks like.
Absolutely.
There are plenty of resources you can use if you really want to understand these things about what it's like to be left-handed. And I'm not telling my left-handed people to go and do this research.
We appreciate what you have done.
What you've already done. You right-handed niggas out there,
Niggas.
go and do the research.
So I think one thing I probably would share with like some of my family that
What's
I saw
something
this
that you
video.
would share with your family?
I do that one more time.
So what's something you would share with your loved ones? I liked it the first time. You know, it's hot too.
It is hot too. I think she talked about challenging yourself. And so when you see something wrong, call it out, even within your community. And I think she said that calmly, but that's tough for me.
Boy, I was
That's
saying,
tough.
I got scared when you said it. You made me
It's
think of a story.
Tough. So I think ultimately, like to the people that I am close to, when we talk of like building community and maintaining our community, nurturing our community, we got to call out bad shit.
Why is it and I think it's a Southern family thing. Why, when we get to a certain age, we feel like we can't learn no more? Or people can't tell you nothing. I don't want to hear
Because
nothing.
you don't live so much life. That's what they think.
You know how vastly different the world is between the life you lived and you just really, I don't even care. I don't need to hear all that. Just,
But you got to think about it. They were raised by people
were
who
the
didn't
same way?
experience that much change. Life was the same pretty much. They whole. I think about my grandma. Like my grandma was born in like 1912 or something like that. Maybe it was like 1918 or something.
it don't matter about
Something
them.
like early
them 6 year
1900s.
difference did not matter.
right? Not a lot of shit changed.
How you know?
Cause I mean, if I think about from when she died to 90s, early 90s, right? I mean, technology didn't advance as much. Like nothing.
You're probably right.
How much of the world we can see now, she didn't get to experience. Social media, like all that stuff. I am getting so much different perspectives.
Oh yeah, the world's moving at a rapid pace now.
So it's just like that's how they grew up.
But we've had that conversation in past episodes about how blessed we are to be in
This
a generation
yeah.
of going from
My mama like my
1990 to.
My mama kind of expect some of the same stuff her mom expected. Like she'd be like, "Oh, when I come to your house, you should put your alcohol away." That's what I did with my mama. Oh, that was 70 years ago. I don't like whatever 50 years ago. I don't. It's not the same, right? But that mindset is kind of stuck. So I think calling people out on some of that stuff, and I think calling out is going to be generational stuff too. Like you're going to have to go to some of the older people in your family and call out like, hey, that doesn't make us feel safe as a family, or that's not really good for our community. That doesn't really build or reinforce our community.
Boy, I can see them old people looking at you. You gotta look like you stink saying these words. Shut up.
Exactly. Exactly.
But them Gen Zs don't care.
Yeah. But I think challenging yourself and
it starts with yourself.
You got to challenge yourself too. Challenge yourself to kind of recognize your biases, go against the grain, improve yourself, do better things, be more intentional. So all of that is kind of what I would definitely recommend to kind of my family. What about you? Loved ones, friends, something you recommend?
What I would recommend is the same thing. Maybe being more empathetic, looking at people and trying, because I think we do a good job in my family of making people feel welcome, but not even a but. And we could probably do better with trying to learn the terms, like just having intentions behind learning the terms. Because I'm telling you now, the stuff some of the people in my family say is still just really, really harsh terms. And I don't believe, and I know that I don't believe. I know they don't mean nothing.
Yeah, they don't mean no harm.
No harm, but they gonna get these jokes off. They gonna take something serious and still just call it out. Versus where
or just say the wrong thing. Mean no harm, no joke. I'm just gonna call you a wetback because that's what I've been like. That's what they call it. You know, just like,
hey, go tap that Mexican. Why do you have to call him by his race? I can see that as a person right there. Just you don't want to. I try to challenge. You don't want nobody to say, "Hey, black girl." You don't want nobody. Just it's man. I'm sure he said his name. Jesus Christ. But yeah, just being a little bit more empathetic, and that's coming from somebody still learning about empathy every day.
Absolutely.
Did you find something that I could learn from, or did you find something that could change you in any way from watching this video? Quick watch.
I think ultimately, like, I think you do a really good job at encouraging the people around you, creating a good community. I would say from this video, maybe I didn't find anything specific. I will highlight something that I thought was good for probably the both of us, or that would even kind of change me in a little way. It's just believing that you can build this community, that you deserve to be a part of it, that you can progress it and change the trajectory of it. All these things. She kind of ended the video with talking about believing, right? That is an essential thing. And I think that applies to believing who you talking to, believing in your community, a lot of different things. So I like that one.
I completely agree. Y'all gonna be mad. Y'all think we done living together? When we get this compound. See, I don't like the word compound. It's gonna have to be called something else. This a state, but we'll figure it out. Neighborhood, whatever.
For sure.
What can I think you can get from this video? I don't think it's much you can get from this either. You are the host queen, extremely welcoming, extremely open. I'm trying to think, what could you get from this? I don't think it's nothing necessarily you can necessarily
understood
get from this video. You do a really good job of making sure people feel comfortable, and not only just in the beginning part of welcoming them, but even throughout the night of just checking in, just double checking. Because I think you do a good job of reading people and knowing that, hey, when you first, it's like a warm-up period with people. So when you first get into somebody's house that you don't know, you can try and be real respectful at first, and then you like to see people kind of ease into it, like, hey man, do you want to keep your shoes on, take your shoes off? Do you like, do you want some of this or this? It's okay. Do you need it a different way? Like you're very attentive on that. And I think we talked about that in another episode about why that is or isn't, but you do an amazing job on that. So I don't really have much on that.
Understood.
Hey man, we ain't gotta stay on this long. You got any?
No, I think we got more to come on community connection, building friendships, nurturing those friendships. I think even the topic of loneliness kind of came up when I was like looking for other videos. So just kind of how that plays into community and connection and overcoming loneliness. So we'll talk about all of that in the future coming. Just keep looking out. This is a good month. If you haven't found anybody to intentionally connect with, I would challenge you, go out of your comfort zone, challenge yourself, believe, seek knowledge, do all those things, acknowledge your biases, go out and try to connect with someone intentionally.
I would definitely echo that. And one of the biggest things you can do is not only learning yourself, because I think we say that so much, finding and really connecting with yourself will help you connect with others, but traveling and getting to know people. And you don't have to go overseas per se. Go to another town, another city, another state. You'll see different cultures. Through us traveling, I'm telling you, you will meet different people, and just listening to their stories and stuff, and how I will say overseas, it does feel like when people travel over there, because it is such a melting pot, or if you go to these big cities like New York, London, bigger cities that have different races and cultures and stuff mixed together, you feel more community, because you'll have more people who are there as like transplants, is what you call them, and you end up.
There's so many broad perspectives.
Like
nobody's putting you in a narrow type like hole, like you got to be this way.
And I'm sure you've been invited to multiple like game nights or something of like, oh, well, this person's not from here. Like nobody in the room really knows each other. Those are like really good, because now you're like, hey, we
on the same playing field.
We on the same playing field, and you have no reason not to be yourself then, because it's like, hey, I know maybe with these other friends and stuff, maybe they still calling me some nickname from the past, or they just remember me from something else. Yeah. But these new people, I can be whoever. I can be myself. I can be myself, not whoever I want to be, but I can be myself. So just travel and get those experiences, meet new people. You can have more than one friend.
Absolutely.
Yeah. New merch, as we always keep saying, please go to zentrappers.com.
That's tough. Energy builder.
It's very,
Zen Trap Panda. Check it out.
Check us out. Subscribe. Let us know. Leave us some comments. We got an email line open. If you got questions, we can start answering some of those as well.
Absolutely. All right. This has been another ZTP, Zen Trap Perspective. I'm one of your two hosts, Yogi LG.
Zen P. And if you can't do nothing else, make sure you protect your peace.
And protect your energy.
It's the Zen Trap.
We out.
We out.